Hey guys, buckle up for another episode of Below the Iceberg, the one and only podcast where we talk to real life 2 Comma Club winners. Whether you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a wannabe entrepreneur, or you've been in business for a while, you're sure to pick up tidbits of actionable advice from these $1 million entrepreneurs. Now, if you're new around here and you don't know what a 2 Comma Club winner is, it is where somebody has built one funnel inside the ClickFunnels software and they've sold $1 million through just that one funnel, which is amazing. In today's episode, I'm really excited to be talking to Shanita Jones. She was a dropout from school, but she went back while still working full-time to become a CPA. And since going all in on her business, she has had exponential growth as she knows the secrets in talking to her niche. So let's find out how her simple funnel won her the 2 Comma Club award. Welcome, Shanita, to Below the Iceberg.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's awesome to have you here, and I want to say a massive congratulations for getting that 2 Comma Club on the wall behind you.
Thank you so much.
It's an amazing achievement. Now, what I like to do with my guests when they first come on is I like to go and look at their social media profiles, because it's a good indication for our listeners to show what's possible with people with small followings and large followings, and they can still achieve a 2 Comma Club. So what I did, this is what I found out.
Okay.
So your Facebook profile, your personal profile, this is, you've got 3.3 thousand friends.
Yes, I'm kind of friendly.
Instagram, you've got 838 followers. Facebook page, 728 followers. LinkedIn, you got about 500. Twitter, I didn't check Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
Not really, and I don't really use Instagram either.
No. And I checked you out on TikTok. I see you've got a profile, but no videos yet.
Coming soon.
So, would you like to tell our listeners exactly what it is that you do?
Okay, so my name again is Shanita Jones. I am the accountant that care. I'm the founder of Jones Taxes and Financial Services, where we help childcare and healthcare business owners build scalable, saleable businesses through proactive use of financial and business strategies. So we are a full service accounting firm. That's what we do. And we have been able to build our business completely on social media, primarily Facebook.
All right. Okay. So, when did you actually hit the $1 million in sales for the 2 Comma Club?
It was last year sometime.
Last
It
year.
was, yeah, it was just before the award ceremony last year, because I didn't know that I could get a 2 Comma Club award as a service-based business owner that didn't accept all of my payments through ClickFunnels. So I could have gotten it sooner had I been more aware. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So what type of funnel did you use to get the award?
So it was a lead gen funnel, a free ebook, book a call, join my Facebook group, lead gen funnel.
All right. Okay. So you've got a Facebook group. I didn't find that. So how many people have you got in your Facebook group?
There's just under 2,000. I think it's probably about 18 or 1,900 in the Facebook group.
All right. Okay. So they download the ebook. So who is the ebook aimed at?
The 2 Comma Club ebook is aimed at childcare owners.
Childcare owners. So they download childcare owners, download the ebook. Then on the thank you page, you're asking them to book a call there, or you send them to the Facebook group there?
We ask them to book a call on the thank you page. And then afterwards, we invite them to join the Facebook group. And if they don't book a call, we also invite them to join the Facebook group.
All
and
right,
through our email sequencing, we invite them to join the Facebook group.
Right. So it all hubs around the Facebook group.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And when they come on the thank you page, so they've just downloaded this free ebook, for people who are listening and they can't quite wrap their head around it, what are you asking them to book a call for?
So in our ebook, it's called The 7 Biggest Financial Mistakes Childcare Business Owners Make and Solutions to Fix Them. Very long, right? So they see an ad, because we primarily ran paid traffic. They see a Facebook ad, they're able to click on the link to download their lead magnet, which is the free ebook.
Yep.
And is the call that they're being invited to join is to help them improve their financial situation, to learn more about working with an accountant that specializes in their industry.
All right. Okay.
So there's a video sales letter in between there.
All
So
right. I was going to say that.
so after they opt in, there's a video sales letter, telling them, thanks for downloading the ebook and this is how we can help you. Would you like to schedule a call with us?
So is that you on the video?
It is me. It is me.
Awesome.
It's a very old video. I have black hair and it's much shorter. And it's like the before and after weight loss picture, except that's the before. But it's me. But it's me.
So you said you didn't know that you could claim the award. So was getting the award a goal at all?
It was not a goal until I found out it was a possibility. My true goal was to have $1 million business, having $1 million revenue in a year. So that was my actual goal. But when I found out about the 2 Comma Club Award and found out that other accountants that I work with and accountants that I mentor, we didn't even know we were eligible for this cool club. So then it became a goal to, submit everything and have it reviewed so that I could do it, also to show other people, if I can do this, you can do this too. It's real.
All right. Okay. Awesome. So when you realized you were allowed to claim it, did you
Yes.
have a celebration?
There was a video. I may share it today. There was a video. I did not know that the award had come because, you send off for it and they say they're going to send it to you. My family took the award and they put it away and they waited till I was doing my mentoring session, my coaching session for the accountants that I coach. And they brought it into the room. The other people knew this was going to happen. I didn't know. So they brought the award in and I opened it up and I was literally jumping up and down and, I was so excited. But we didn't do a formal celebration because we knew we were going to go to the event and we were going to celebrate, while we were there. But my coach, my friend, him and his family, they did take me out to a very nice dinner while we were in Orlando.
All right, awesome. So you said you're running Facebook ads. Was it just Facebook ads you're running for the ebook?
It was just Facebook ads with a big organic push, with a lot of organic pushing.
All right, okay. So what were you doing for the organic?
Facebook Lives, adding value, sharing information, being interviewed anywhere where anyone would listen to me, where I was able to help their communities, inviting some other experts in the industries to come into my community and add value to them as well. Speaking engagements. So those were some of we even did a direct mail campaign.
Oh, did you?
We did a direct mail campaign, which is so backwards because we took people from real life and we actually put them into our funnel. And we would send them a little postcard or something and say, we would introduce ourselves, but then we'd also say, we have this free gift, this free ebook. We love to have you sign up and, get the ebook as well. Awesome. Because we knew that we needed to nurture them before we would be able to, or to even determine if we even really wanted to get into a sales call situation with them.
So what did you do? I love direct mail. Did you point them to the free ebook download page then was it a letter?
Well, they got a physical letter in the mail and it basically introduced our firm, told them how we could help, and told them, if you're not ready to hire an accountant right now, that's okay. We still want you to have this information because it's important. And feel free to share the link with a friend. So we sent out all of these letters. It was a letter, and then eventually we graduated. We made some money so we could afford a brochure also. So we sent this out. And then some of them would call us and say, oh, I'm getting your emails. I'm on your email list. I joined your Facebook group because you sent me the letter. So it did work because I wanted to take the people that weren't on Facebook, but maybe online and just not on Facebook. And I wanted to get them into my funnel.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So let's do a little bit. Oh, first off, when you were selling them on the call, was that selling them to be you to be their accountant?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a rewind.
Okay.
We're going to take you back to your childhood.
Okay.
So what was your childhood like?
I'm the oldest. I was the oldest of 5 growing up. But now I have two baby sisters that are 14 and 12. So now I'm the oldest of seven.
All right.
Um, we were not wealthy people at all growing up. So, but I had a family full of love, very close, tight knit family. I can tell you that I have never lived alone because I've always had such a big family. And when I moved out, I was able to ask my brother to come with me because I was used to always being surrounded by family.
All right. Okay. And when you were a child, what was the dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I knew I wanted to be rich. I knew I wanted to be rich because I knew I wanted to help other people become rich that came from humble beginnings, such as myself. So originally, I wanted to be a therapist and I wanted to work with children that were affected by parents on drugs and alcohol. So that was my original dream. And then I found out that I wouldn't make enough money to make the impact I wanted to make unless I got a doctorate degree. And I thought, oh no, I can't wait that long. I got to do things now. So then the dream changed to wanting to be an attorney, but I was afraid to take the bar exam. Little did I know, becoming a certified public accountant, I would have to take 4 bar exams essentially. So I remember I did not know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And my boss said to me, he said, Shanita, you didn't graduate high school? And I said, no. And I was real ashamed of that. And I told him my whole story. And he said, well, you need to go get your GED. So this man wrote me a check. His name is Andy Strubing. I hope that he's seeing this now. He wrote me a check at the time, it was $35. And he said, just leave, don't clock out, go take your exam test. So I dropped out in 12th grade. I took all 7 parts within like 5 days. I passed them all on the first try and he came back and he said, well, what now? And he was like, you're going to college. And I said, well, I don't know what I want to be. And he said, well, you need to do what everyone that doesn't know what they want to be does in college. You need to go to business school. So I went to business school and I took my accounting 101 and 102 classes and I said, this makes sense. This is the language of millionaires. It's accounting. And I need to learn this accounting thing so that I can become a millionaire and change my family's lives. And so that I can help other people become millionaires and stay millionaires and change their families' lives as well. So that's how I stumbled into this.
All right. Okay. So you did that. So when you left college, what happened? But
so I worked while I was in college the entire time. I had kids, I got married, I wrote a book. I did
all while you were in college?
All while I was in college. I worked full time. And I worked full time and I went to college part time until the end when I realized I could see the end. So then I did both full time. I didn't sleep very much, developed a really bad cherry Pepsi addiction. Because some people like coffee. I like cherry Pepsi. I love caffeine. Y'all didn't know the words of prayer. Pray for me. So I would sit up all night, and that's when I did my homework. That's when I was able to do things for me because my life was like go go go. And even now, that's when I do some of my best work. That's when I write my copy. That's when I map out my campaigns and my funnels. It all happens at nighttime. So while I was working, I was going to school, always had excellent grades. I got I told you how I got my GED while I was working. I got my associates, my bachelor's, my master's, except for my CPA exam, passed my CPA exam, and ran my tax business, which later grew into an accounting business, all while I was in school.
Wow. So what was the job that you were doing at the same time?
Oh, so my first job, I was actually doing it wasn't my first job, but the first job while I was in accounting in school. I was actually doing electrical drafting for a company that built electrical raceways. So I was looking at the blueprints and drawing the schematic drawings for them to be wired. And I also wired them. I did some stuff with fiber optics.
All right.
And that's where I learned to use Excel. There was a great guy there. I love him for life, Michael Damatopoulos. And he introduced me to Excel, and I was like, "Oh, this makes sense. This is pretty cool." And then it clicked with my accounting stuff. So after that job, I ended up working as a bookkeeper in another manufacturing company. And then I had the pleasure of working my favorite job ever. Can I say the name of the place?
Yeah, sure.
I worked for the University of Pennsylvania Health System, the hospital, for about 9 years. And I started as a secretary with a financial secretary, basically. And I graduated to become a junior accountant. And then I went on to become a staff accountant and a senior accountant at other places, an accounting manager. And then I finally got my dream job as a cost engineer. I worked for an energy company here in Delaware. And then that's when I walked away and just went full time in my business.
All right. Okay. So how long, the dream job then?
Mm-hmm.
How long did you stay there?
Well, I won't say it was a dream job. It was a dream pay. I had
All
finally
right.
crossed that six-figure job.
Right. Okay.
um, so I probably stayed there only about a year.
Oh, right. Okay. So what happened that made you decide that you were going to leave and go on your own?
I ended up in the hospital.
Oh,
So finally, my antics of burning the candles at both ends had run its course, and I began to get sick. The job was stressful, the business was stressful. I had mom guilt, and I was realizing that I couldn't do all the things. So I got sick. And then my husband actually so graciously offered, he made me a proposition. He said, we're going to work with you tomorrow, or we're going to the doctor. Where are we going tomorrow? You decide. Well, I didn't want my husband to come to work with me because I didn't want my coworkers to know that I was in over my head. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. So I agreed to go to the doctor. That was safer, right? So I get to the doctor, and the doctor actually told me I needed to take a couple of days off work. My blood pressure was too high, and I always had low blood pressure. So I'm thinking I'm going to get to the car and see I go back to work the next day or something. She wrote me out for 2 weeks. During that 2 weeks being out, I realized how underserved I felt that my clients were. And I realized how much work I had to do, which I wasn't supposed to be doing because I was using a backup old laptop because my children and husband, they took my laptop away from me because they thought my laptop was making me sick. So I was pulling out like the old, really slow desktop and trying to get everything configured and put away before they got home from work and school. And my husband finally said, he said, "Will you listen to me now? Why are you doing this?" And it was funny because I was actually making more money in my business at this point than I was making at my job.
oh, wow. So
Yeah.
when did you start getting your own clients on the side then, when you were doing the
Uh,
job?
well, that I started that back in 2012 when I and we were doing tax preparation only, and then the need arose, and I slowly came to understand that people didn't just need us at tax time; they needed us all year long. So I had my own clients since 2012,
Oh,
and
right. Okay.
I left corporate America in 2019, so about 7 years.
All right. Okay. So how did you find those first clients?
The first clients were the easiest clients to get because I got the first clients from family members, friends, people that I knew. I made some postcards and door hangers, and I actually went out and hung door hangers on doors.
Oh, did
I
you?
put flyers on people's cars. I stood outside in parking lots of establishments. Don't y'all tell anybody, they can't come find me now. But I handed out flyers. I knew nothing about social media marketing. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I was posting on Facebook telling people about the results that I got from my clients. I was telling people how they were so anxious and nervous and now they feel good and life is going to be okay. And I was telling people what I was doing because I was reading articles and they said if you have a business, you have to let everyone that know what you're doing. So I was just letting people know what I was doing, and then people started coming to me asking if they could help me, if I could help them.
So what were you reading then that told you to do that?
A lot of blogs. I don't remember any particular blog, but I would just go on anything I wanted to do. And remember Ask Jeeves? I would go.
Ask
I might
Jeeves.
be dating myself. Some of the millennials might be like, Ask Jeeves. Who's Jeeves?
I remember Ask Jeeves.
I would go in there and I would say things like how to get tax clients, how to get accounting clients. And then I would also ask more established people Unfortunately, a lot of them weren't really willing to tell me, but I would ask whoever I could ask, how do I do this? How do I get business? How do I get clients? Because I knew that I was not happy in corporate America. And I knew that I wanted to be in an environment where I could create the environment I wish I had to work in. And I knew I needed clients because I needed money to do that.
Yeah. Right. So 2019. So did you go back after the 2-week break? Did you actually go back?
I did not go back.
Oh,
I
did
went back
you?
to the doctor. I went back to the doctor because the company required that I get clearance to come back to work. So now I'm upset they won't let me come back to work because I'm a bit of a workaholic. So the doctor wrote me out for another week. So I'm sitting home another week. I have nothing else to clean. I have I have nothing else. I have nothing else to research. Even I figured out that I needed to hire an admin person during that time. Hired her, and I decided during that time, when it was finally time for me to go back, I said, you know what? I can't go back. My people need me. I have more that I could do and should do, but I'm not doing it. I'm not serving people at the level that I know I need to serve them at. So I decided, and I got an easy out because my boss said, "You're not coming back, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm a person of my word. If I say I'm coming back, I'm coming back." So I was going to go back just to give notice because I didn't want to break my word.
Yeah.
And she flat out asked me, "Are you coming back to give notice?" And I said, "I think I'm going to do that." And she said, she was like, "Listen, it's okay. I see you on Facebook. I see you're happy. I saw you riding a bike." She was like, she said, "I was posting pictures, selfies on a bike before I fell because I was not used to riding bikes and taking selfies."
So how many clients did you have at that point then when you left?
I had 14 monthly clients and probably about 300 text clients.
Oh, wow. So that was quite a lot on the side with your full time.
Yeah. I was afraid, Polly. I was afraid to let go. I thought that that was stability and security. So I was afraid to let go, and I was going to stay as long as they would have me.
Oh, wow. So what happened next then? When did you discover ClickFunnels?
So now I have no, well, before that, I had joined this program by Ben Brown. It's called Million Dollar Firms. It's a program to help accountants grow their businesses. So I joined this program, and this dude, I really liked him. I didn't know him personally yet. I really liked him. He had honest eyes, and he had a nice accent, and his mom seemed really sweet. So I joined the program. And I joined, well, we buy from who we know, like, and trust, right?
Yes,
I
definitely.
identified with his story, and I said, "Wow, he made me feel like I know him and I could, all the things he was teaching in his webinar." And I said, "I'm going to buy it." And at the time, this was the biggest investment I had made in my business at one time. I was shaking in my boots, nervous and trembling. Guess how much it was?
$2,000.
It was $997.
All right. Okay.
So I had not yet learned to invest at the level that I wanted to earn.
Right. Okay.
So I was still new. I figured some stuff out, but I didn't have it all together. I still had a lot of poverty mindset issues. So I joined the program, and that's how I was able to get some of the clients. I was getting them on LinkedIn. I didn't really like LinkedIn, but I follow instructions well. So I was getting them on LinkedIn, and then I started doing some of the LinkedIn things on Facebook. And when I got to the part where he said sign up for ClickFunnels, I was like, "You want me to pay for the subscription?" And I said, "Well, once I get the funnel, how do I get the people into the funnel?" So I refused to sign up for ClickFunnels, and I hodgepodge some other softwares together and created my own funnel, if you want to call it that, which it still runs today. I just can't figure out how to shut it off. It doesn't convert well, but it runs. So finally, Ben called me, and I was like, "Oh my God, Ben Brown is on my phone." And he said, because I had sent him a message before and said, "How much can I pay you? Can you do this for me?" And he said, "No, you can't afford it." No, he didn't say that, but that's what I thought. That's why I thought he said it. So he called me and he said, "Congratulations, you quit your job." And I said, "I did." And he said, "I want to help you now." And I said, "Well, what changed?" He said, "I couldn't help you before because you had too much going on. You had a job, you had kids, He was like, I followed you, you're in my group. He said, but you've done excellent in not having all of the time that you needed. So now that you have more time, I want to help you. So he sat with me, built my first funnel. It went live November 4th, 2019. I remember that date because that's also his brother's birthday. So I tell his brother we share that birthday. And we went through, we built my whole funnel out. And that very same funnel is still running today.
Oh, it's the same one.
With the typo.
So first funnel, that was your first funnel?
That was my first funnel.
And is it the only funnel you have, or do you have another?
Oh no. So that's my first funnel. It still runs today. The only thing I do to it occasionally is change the graphics on the ads, but the funnel still works. It still has the typo where it should say pursuit, it says peruse, and I don't want to change anything, so it stays. I laugh when people read it and they say, you got a typo. And I say, I know. And they say, why don't you fix it? Nuh-uh.
I do love a good typo. It makes people notice things more.
It was not. I really want to tell you guys it was intentional, but it wasn't. I was just so excited. I was like, I'm getting a funnel. I'm getting a funnel. So I don't even think I knew at that time not to type directly into ClickFunnels. I didn't know that it made more sense to type like on a Google Doc somewhere and paste it. Like I've learned so much. So since that funnel, I have running another funnel, which is pretty much a clone of that funnel, but it's serving a different industry, our healthcare agency business owners. I have another funnel that sells my childcare accounting and business academy.
All right. Okay. So what's that then?
So the childcare accounting and business academy was born from serving childcare business owners. So several of them would come through our funnel and they would say, Shanita, I really want to learn to do this myself. I want to feel empowered. I don't feel like I'm in control of my own business. I want to really, and I teach them, you must know your numbers to grow your numbers. And they're like, this is great that I'm having these things done for me, but I really want to get a deeper understanding. So because I had these cool 3 business degrees, I'm not an accounting major, I'm a business major. So because I had that, I started teaching them business and accounting principles. And I said, I'm not going to teach you QuickBooks because I can teach you how to use the software really, really well. But if you're doing all the wrong things the right way, you're going to get the wrong result. So I created this academy and we start out from A to Z of all the things in their business. So I have that funnel going as well. That's actually my new funnel. And that funnel is the newer one that's actually being built right now. I don't build my own funnels anymore. I graduated. I built my last funnel 2 weeks ago, and then I retired from funnel building. But the newer funnel that's being built, I did kind of map it out though. The newer funnel that's being built is actually a free mini course funnel. So this is the first time I've tried that.
All right. Okay.
Funnel. Yeah.
So do you want to walk us through what's going to happen with that?
Okay, so look, my eyes are lighting up. So with this funnel, they will see an ad, probably a video ad, be invited to take this free training, and then they will have the option. I learned about tripwires at ClickFunnels, so I threw a tripwire in there, and the tripwire is to buy a companion workbook to help them work through the things they're going to learn in the training.
All right. Okay. And how much is that?
It's $47 right now.
All right. Okay.
So they'll have an option to buy that. And then they will be able to go immediately to the training if they buy. If they don't buy, they go into an abandoned cart sequence and they still go immediately into the training. So they get to watch the training. And at the end of the training, they can say, yes, I want to learn. Let me in. Teach me this now. And they can book a call to learn more about the academy. And then they'll be able to see if it's right for them. We'll be able to see if they're right for us. And if so, we'll gain another student into the academy.
Awesome. So where's the training? Have you put it in a membership area?
No, it's not. The free training is not in the membership area. It's actually a funnel step.
All right. Okay. So it's just a video on a page.
Yeah, it's just a video on the page.
And is it drip fed to them daily, or can they watch them all?
No, so I didn't break it down, and I thought about breaking it down, but I'm in a couple of funnels where people break it down, and quite frankly, some of them annoy me. So I have a very short attention span. So the video is not going to be more than 30 minutes itself. And they'll also, in the email sequence, they'll get it emailed out to them in smaller chunks. It's 7 main points. So I'll also record rather these smaller videos and send it out to them as part of the email sequence.
All right. Okay. Awesome. So what do you think's been your biggest hurdle that you've had to overcome on your journey so far?
That's a hard one. I think, oh, I know. The biggest hurdle that I've had to overcome was growing at the rate that I grew as quickly as I grew.
All right. Okay.
So that was very difficult, being able to continue to sell so that you could serve, so that you could have the money to get the team to help you serve the people, while not compromising the quality of service that you're able to offer. And then also having to train brand new people to your organization, even if they were experienced, they still needed to be trained to your organization and your niche and your way of doing things. So I think the speed of the growth was probably my biggest hurdle.
So what made your growth so fast then?
Number one, I kind of ran into a blue ocean. No one else was serving these people in the way that I was. I also spoke to them in a way that they weren't used to hearing accountants speak. They found out I was a real person. I they found out I was a real person and I didn't judge them. And I was offering them value with no expectation of anything in exchange. And we still do that. And we're really big on our mission to educate, equip, impact, and empower them, because I really accredit my aunt who had a child care. She's actually the one that drugged me into all of this. I really accredit her to my ability to learn. Like I told you, I did not finish high school the traditional way, but she was my first teacher and she taught me how to learn. So that even all through school, I always had honor roll and she always pushed me to go back to school and be great. And I knew that if people like her weren't okay, that our kids wouldn't be okay. And I'm getting older and I didn't want a generation of unokay adults being in charge next. So I see serving them as a greater mission. Like everything I do, it can't just be about money. I have to be able to make positive impact
Yeah.
in the world somehow.
So how did you come up with the childcare niche in the first place? How did you decide that you wanted to work with them?
Oh, I didn't decide. They decided. So so I ran from them. So my aunt had a childcare business and her childcare friends were going to this accountant that just didn't know all the things that they needed to know. And they had all began to get notices from the city and they were in trouble. So my aunt knew that I was working as an accountant for the biggest hospital in our area. So she knew I had a tax business. So she said, "Can you help me?" And I said, "Well, I don't know anything about this. Let me see. Let me reach out to my community and see if anybody specializes in this area and would be a better fit." And instead of her saying, "Okay, thank you," she showed up with a file cabinet, a literal file cabinet with all of her stuff and all of her letters. And she said, "You'll figure this out. You'll learn it. I trust you." So I did what any good niece would do. I started making phone calls. I started looking on websites. I started pulling instructions and codes, and I helped her. And then she told a friend, and a friend told a friend. So then I was affectionately called in my city the daycare tax lady. So daycares all around found out about me, and they started coming to me, and their spouses would have other businesses, or even people with other businesses would say, "Such and such worked with you and they really enjoyed their experience. Can you help me too, even though I don't have a daycare?" And so I said yes. And then, word just began to spread. So when I started working with Ben, one of the things that we had to do as part of his program is identify our ideal client avatar.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to look at the characteristics of the people I enjoyed working with. So I just started writing down the people that I enjoyed. And by the time I got finished, I noticed that all of the people that I had written down own childcares. So um, it was a no brainer. And I was walking down the street in Philly and I noticed that on some blocks, there were 2, 3, 4 childcare centers. So I said, okay, there's no shortage here. Okay, I think we've got a niche. So that's why I always say it found me. I didn't really find
All
childcare.
right, okay. So how far are your clients then?
Oh, they're all over the country.
Oh, are they?
They're all over. Yeah.
And how big is your team now then?
There are 6 of us.
All right, okay. And who do you have somebody at the beginning? Were you taking, when somebody applied on the funnel, were you taking the sales calls?
Oh, yes. Oh, I gotta tell you about the sales call. So the first, so the month that I started taking sales calls, my business had a loss of like $722. I started learning about investing in myself and I took it very seriously. So I had a loss of like $700 that month. And the next month I brought in $55,000 in cash. I sold it over the phone. And I took every single sales call myself. And I had so many sales calls from like sun up to sundown. I did evenings, I did weekends. I actually had shower time scheduled on my calendar because like the first week I was so tired when I went to bed because it take a lot out of me.
Yeah.
So I was so tired when I went to bed that I was like, okay, I'll take a shower in the morning. But I couldn't take a shower in the morning because my first call was like at 8 or 9 a.m. So I started scheduling shower times. I had so many sales calls and I absolutely loved it. I love sales calls. And that's one of the things that we talk a lot about in my Facebook group for accountants that are marketing their businesses. So I did all the sales calls. Since
So
then,
how did you learn what to say on? Did you have a script? Did you get a script from Ben, or did it just come naturally to you?
so Ben gives a script in his program. However, my personality and the personality of my audience, a lot of things that the script tells us to do, I was unable to do just because of where they were in their businesses. So I ended up creating my own script. And I also ended up creating a product that I call Close a Deal in Your Lunch Break. And it's actually
It's
the
called
method
what?
that
Close a deal in your lunch break.
Close a Deal in Your Lunch Break.
Right.
And I talk about how I teach about how I was able to build up this business during my lunch break at work. So so initially all my sales calls, like my office was in my car and I printed out the sales script that Ben gave and I would actually write on since then his program has grown now. He's fancy now. They got like a workbook where you write in. I coach copy and messaging in his program now. So I'm like an alum. But he's fancy now. They have like a workbook where you work through all these things. But I used to print out the sales script every time I had a call. And I would try to write in, what happened during my call to make sure I was hitting all my points. But then after about the 15th call, I kind of just had it memorized. And then I stopped reading the sales script for what the sales script said. And I started looking at the different phases that he was actually having us go through on the sales script. And now when I train my team to sell, I don't provide a sales script. I give them a loose idea of a sales script, but I tell them you only use this sales script basically. If the conversation goes way left, then I want you to go back to the sales script. But I don't follow a sales script closely at all anymore.
Okay. Do you have any? So, what does your typical day look like now?
Well, I usually wake up, like get out the bed, wake up like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Today was 11 a. Today and yesterday were like 11 a.m.
Oh, that's
And then,
nice.
oh, I'm a night owl, Polly. Remember I told you? So, but I'm on my phone, like talking to my team on Slack, sometimes reading books, posting in my social groups. So I'm awake, I'm doing stuff. I just don't talk to people before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So then after I do that, I'll come down to the office because my office is actually built in my house. And I share it with my husband. So I'll come down to the office and then I'll start working. Um, I'm usually actually really finished work by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. But then that's when the magic starts. That's when all the ideas emerge and things like that. So sometimes if I don't have anything else going on, since the kids are bigger and I'm not cool anymore, sometimes I'll just sit down here, finding things to do basically.
How old are your children now then?
23 and 17.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want to hang out with mum anymore, do they?
No, I'm not cool anymore.
So what's your focus now for the next 12 months?
For the next 12 months, I'm working on growing our childcare accounting and business academy to $1 million business.
Okay, so have you got the 2 Comma Club in your site? Another one.
Yes, I want another one, but I also this time I'm gonna need that $1 million to come in a 12-month period.
All right, okay.
So that's the goal.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I've got one last question for you. If you're going to be an animal for 24 hours, what would you be and why?
Ooh. That's a good one. I would probably be a dog.
Okay.
And
Why?
I would be a dog because dogs are loyal, dogs are protective, dogs are trustworthy, and I love my dog. So I would probably be a dog so I could talk to him too.
What dog have you got?
He is a Chihuahua Terrier mix. His name is Benji.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, cute. Okay, so thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me today. It's been amazing to hear your story.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun.
And if anybody wants to find out more about what you do, where can they go?
Oh, okay. So you can be my friend on Facebook. I'm on there, Shanita Jones CPA. There are a couple other people with my name, but I'm the one that has CPA behind my name.
Okay.
And then for the accountants, we have a cool place to hang out called Accountants Unlettered on Facebook. And you can find me there a lot.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review and subscribe to the podcast on your podcast software. It really helps us rank the podcast and get more listeners. And if you're over on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the bell. Every Friday, 8 a.m. GMT, we release a brand new episode. And until then, have a good one.